Good morning, everybody. Crazy Russian 86 here. Welcome back to another video. Freaking a little tired, but I'm about to go to work. Maybe I take a nap. I don't know, cause I can. But I'm gonna make this video for Life was Overrated 96, the video response. Let's get to it. So I watched his last video on religion, right? I'm so fucking tired right now too. But anyway, I watched his video on religion. He was talking about a lot of things which I agree with, but there are like two particular points which I disagree with this. He was saying some pretty ignorant stuff, really like. And here's what I'm going to talk about, why I say this. He was talking about him growing up as a Christian, right? And he was saying that he studied about, this people in Egypt, like Egyptians, how they got punished. So he feels sympathy for Egyptians. Look, I studied a Jewish school. I studied that stuff. So according to what I studied, you know why Egyptian people got punished? Because they didn't want the Jewish people, to leave Egypt. And the Jews were chosen people, right? And they were slaves in Egypt. And Pharaoh didn't want to let them go. So because of that, because he didn't let them go voluntarily, Egyptian people suffered. But they suffered. Why they suffered? Because they supposedly were hurting Jewish people. They were imposing hard work on the old and the kids, and the grown men were not doing shit. They were really insulting them. And Moshe, he even killed one Egyptian man because that guy was making fun of the Jew, or he was humiliating the Jew, some shit like that. So the Egyptian people got punished for what they did to the Jewish people. And that goes to the second point I was talking about, the karma. So Egyptians face their karma. And you said you don't believe in karma. You don't believe whatever goes around comes around. I don't agree with that. You've been saying that, what is karma? It's like somebody says, oh, you did something bad to me, so because of that your son was autistic and that was a punishment, or he had Down syndrome or whatever. Well, there are two things about that. Being autistic or having Down syndrome is really punishment. You look at it like that, but these people with disabilities, they don't have to work 2 jobs. Maybe their existence is not as arduous. They can just fucking play video games and enjoy their life and then get their disability checks and do nothing. They don't have to work 2 jobs. And they're not complaining about how much they're making and how they're getting bent over. And they're not complaining about life being arduous or whatever. I don't turn my camera, we'll see if that's gonna change anything, but I don't even care how I'm gonna look on YouTube anyway, but I just changed the way I rotate my camera, we'll see how that's gonna help me. But anyway, guys, Maybe these people are happy because they have disability, but then don't have to work. So they surely not going to be complaining about their jobs, you know. As a matter of fact, they are not even allowed to work maybe like over 20 hours a week because of their condition. They got it easy because they have disability. But nobody wants disability. People actually want to work hard. Really, disability is the worst thing, and life is all about working, because in order, to get somewhere in life, you have to work hard, you know. And you are the one who always like say, oh, it's bullshit. Life doesn't have to be this way. You have to enjoy life. Well, that's why a lot of people fake disability so they don't have to do shit. But then again, if you don't do nothing, you don't get nothing. So it's like give and take. It's like if you're not gonna put an effort, you're not gonna have a good life. And yes, karma kind of works because, even to you it works. You says, oh, I've been doing a lot of fucked up stuff and I've not been getting punished. You are. Maybe working 2 jobs and hating what you do, maybe that's a punishment. Maybe not working your ass off and not being enjoying your life. Maybe that's a punishment right there. See? You're already being punished by fucking working 2 jobs and doing whatever you hate doing all your life. Maybe you're getting punished like that for shoplifting, And then again, who said that shoplifting is bad? This is what people force you to think. Oh, this is bad, this is good. Speeding is bad, shoplifting is bad. Why? Like, let's say, according to the law, you cannot drive over 55 miles an hour. So if you do, you break the law. So if the cops see you, you can get a ticket, right? But if there is no cars, there's speed limit 55, and you driving 80 or 85. You're being safe, there's no cars. What's wrong with this breaking the law? Because our law out there, to make you safe, it's all about safety, And people out there, oh, you want everybody to live, you want everybody to be safe. Okay. But at the same time, people are living and they're complaining about their lives. Oh, I hate my job, I hate this, I hate that. If you're not being safe, you kill yourself, you escape this fucked up existence. So why do you need that protection? And then at the end of the day, you're still gonna die, and all people end up in a bad way, and here's another contradiction too. People are talking about, oh, you shouldn't be selfish like that, because when you're gonna die, nobody's gonna be helping you, you're gonna be old, you're gonna be miserable, you're gonna suffer, because you're selfish, because you don't give a fuck about other people. But even if you do care about other people, and you do a lot for them, you're still gonna die. When your time to go, it's your time to go. No matter how much people love you, they're not gonna save you from death. And then they're gonna cry, they're gonna be upset and this and that. Next day they're gonna go to work and they're gonna do their things. So it's like, and this goes back to the point, I do agree with you. Yeah, the nature is selfish. Nobody really cares. You know, you're right about that. But still, karma is real. I've seen it in my life. You treat people bad, you get bad in return. So, you know, like me, for example, I've been arrogant and I was thinking, no, I can say, oh, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. And then things happen to me when people didn't know how to get back on me. But then when people find out what's wrong with me, whatnot, they're like, okay, I can use it against this guy. So it's like before, I was like acting loud and obnoxious and I was thinking I can say what I want and this and that. And people walking out on me. Now I kind of got a taste of my own medicine and I want to like fuck somebody up. I want to get into the fight with people, but I cannot do it. And I can't get away with stuff because people know how to shut me down. So it's like, trust me, man. I'm going back in my life and I was like, you know, when I'm looking back. Yeah, karma works, trust me. All the time. All the time it works. So I do believe in that, and this is not a bad wishful thinking, no, it's just like the reality. It's just like if you do bad things to people, bad things come to you. You're gonna pay for it. Another thing, you don't know what's good, what's bad, you know? It's also pretty subjective thing. Even human morality, right? Like, let's say it's immoral to kill the human. But yet we kill mosquitoes, we kill cockroaches, we kill other human, you know, forms of life. We don't care. Like when you kill the cockroach, when you kill a mosquito, do you ever think that, oh, I killed mosquito because he was sucking my blood, therefore God's gonna punish me for that? You know? To majority of the people, they're just laughable. But mosquitoes, they don't want to get killed either. You know? Or cockroaches. They're running around, but you know, when the human being comes there and he wanna spray them, they run away. Why do they run away? Why are they afraid to die? They can just say, oh, fuck it. Go fuck, spray me, I don't care about this life. Go ahead, spray me, I don't care. But they're running away. They don't want to die. See? Even though they also gonna die anyway. Even if you're not gonna spray them or kill them or put the traps on them. They just like humans. They're gonna die because their life cycle is gonna be over. But you see, when they see danger, they still run away. They're not thinking, you know what, I'm gonna die anyway, so fuck it. Let me just go to the trap. Or let me just go straight to that spray which is gonna fucking kill me. They don't do that. The same thing with humans. We're all gonna die. But we don't jump, you know, from the bridge. We don't go under the rails or whatnot. You know? We don't do that. We don't drive to the water because we want to kill ourselves. We don't do it. You know? That's just a contradictory thing of life. Even though that life sucks, even though we know that we're gonna die, we still wanna be here. But when we're here, we always complain about it. We're always not happy about this existence. But we always say, oh, it's better than the alternative. People say, oh, it's so bad to have a disability. But yet, it's so bad to go to work all the time, and I want, the great reaper, like Life is Overrated says, to save me from this slavery. Well, if you have disability, you don't have to worry about being slave to the job. You don't have to worry about, kissing up to people. You just get your fucking disability check and play video games. Then nobody wanna want you, the people's gonna think you're a loser, woman wouldn't wanna fuck you. You're gonna be living poorly, but you'll be surviving. And you can actually do whatever the fuck you wanna do on this limited budget. And you may have like free housing too. But if you don't have a disability for the same thing, you have to pay more. So it's like, really. But why it's such a curse to be on disability then, if you get a lot of shit handed to you, which other people need to work for? Contradiction right there, Why do you want to have beautiful cars and beautiful girls if we all know we're gonna die and that shit don't matter? If procreations don't matter, we only gonna bring people to the existence to suffer. So why are you getting with women? Why do you wanna have sex? Why do you wanna continue, people, human race? If that's pointless and it's all suffering and it's just work and no fun and no freedom. Which is kind of true, but why do you want these things? Why couldn't we just say, hey, I'm retarded, get yourself on disability so then you can just do what you want and you don't have to work and you can collect the check and then taxpayers can pay for you? Why we as people, we don't want that type of life? It's easy life. You don't have to do nothing. But then we take it like it's a curse. Even though, it's a way to have an easy life, really. I mean, the best world is to like have a disability, but then have money like you fucking millionaire, but it doesn't work that way. You're gonna be barely surviving, but it's like, it's still like you can have Section 8 housing, SSI and all of that. So it's like, really, it's really could be not that bad, but a lot of people don't want it. They would rather work their asses off so they can escape that. See? Everything is a contradiction. And, years ago, I remember my buddy Chad told me, it's a human mind is like that. We always want to have a problem. So if you don't have a problem, you're going to create a problem in your head. It's like we're never satisfied, we're always complaining. But yet, we don't want to end this shit. Even you, Life is Overrated 96, you say that you don't give a fuck about nothing, but then you don't want to kill yourself, you still want to live. You talk about that people need to get vasectomy, and all of that, and you don't want to have kids and all of that, but at the same time, and you don't like the way life is, you hate that you spend majority of your time doing things you don't enjoy doing, but at the same time, you're still doing it. You're still working 2 jobs. Instead of just saying, fuck this, I'm gonna play dumb, get on disability so I can play video games. I'm sure you probably know that nobody's gonna give you disability even if you try, but, you know. I feel like people are trying to get me on that, even though they've been denying it, but I'm not stupid, but it's not gonna work, see? Because in order to get that, there still have to be something really, really wrong with you. And if you're just a little off like me, if you're a little weird, nah. Cannot get that. And if you get it, then you're gonna have limitations. Because then people is gonna be telling you how much you can work, what you can and cannot do. You're still not gonna be doing whatever the fuck you wanna do. So it's like, in this life, like, we never win. We just do things, and then we leave, and then we get old, and the end is always sad. It's death. We're just here to just do things, to learn our lessons, you know, and then it's like at first we learn, we acquire ability when we get to the peak, and then everything goes down, our health, our abilities, so everything goes down, you know, with age and everything. So, because think about it, why, like, if you're like 70 to 80 years old, you know, no matter how much you exercise and this and that, you still cannot do the same thing as you could when you were like in your 20s or in your 30s, you know? Women are talking about, oh, I'm in my 30s, my biological clock is ticking, I need to get it with a man. I cannot just like have sex 10 times a day with hood rats like I used to in my 20s. I need to get a good man and all of that. Oh, I need to have kids because I'm getting old. What's the point of all of that? So yeah, I don't know what else to tell you. We've been telling the story about atheism too. My story is a little different, obviously. I didn't grow up with a religion. I went to Jewish school, but I actually grew up as an atheist. You know, my mom was trying to make me Jewish by like talking about ethnic purity of Jewish race. She was telling me not to eat pork when she was eating it herself. She put me to the Jewish school where I studied that type of stuff. Like, you know, Jews and Egyptians and, you know, Moses and how Jewish people got Torah on the mountain Sinai. You know, so studied all of that shit. And regular subjects. I went to America. I started going to students for free thought. I met Healthy Addict, and she actually knew Amazing Atheist personally. Like, I know somebody who personally knows the Amazing Atheist, and I've been watching him too. But he was not my favorite. You know, it's funny because, you know, I like Brad Keane better. When I was starting watching YouTube, the first atheist I came across to was not Amazing Atheist. Like Amazing Atheist was okay, but my favorite one was Mr. Evolution 777 or Brad Keane. I was actually trying to, once I even trying to have a talk to him, but it didn't work out, I was trying, to like have discussion with him because I really like his channel. And as a matter of fact, Brad Keane is actually the guy who introduced me to anti-natalism. Because growing up in Russia, I didn't even know that such thing exists. Brad Keane was like uploading a video where he was showing that guy who was natalist. And Brad Keane, he's pro-natalist, he has 3 kids, and he also like to play video games, and he is atheist, but he is pro-natalist, like he has family and all of that. So he was making the video where he was showing that guy, and I actually also kind of made the video a long time ago too, where I was showing that guy who was talking about that when he found out the truth about anti-natalism, all of that, he would said to his son, you know what, I wish you were never born. It's kind of sucks that you were even born. He got to that. He said, I made a mistake that I brought you into this world. And Brad Keane was saying, oh, you know what, I don't agree with this guy. I don't remember his arguments because it's been years and years, but he was pro-natalist. He was saying that that guy is not right. But Brad Keane told me about anti-natalism, pretty much. It's funny, you talk about anti-natalism, anti-jobs and all of that. Brad Keane is the guy who introduced me to that. And also Life is Overrated 96, another crazy thing is probably gonna conclude this video, kind of bunch of sporadic thoughts in the end. My videos are kind of sporadic, that's how I like them to be, because that's kind of person I am, I guess, scatterbrained. But wanna say this, thanks for making videos, your videos are good, somebody I can relate to, because I remember even like half of my lifetime ago when I was in Russia, I was a teenager, I was like 18 years old, 17. I was like writing raps, and I was writing, like not poetry necessarily, but stories, and they were like, the topics were similar to what you discussing in your YouTube videos. It was similar thing. I was also talking about like kissing up, lack of freedom. I had the main hero, like his name was Vasily Misanthropov, and the main guy was like a boss who got power and money and everything, and then he was like dictating everybody and telling them how to be and how to act, and he was like very frustrated with everything and hating everything because he needed to kiss up to everybody to get what he wants. I also found out early in my life that life is all about kissing up to people, there is no freedoms. And when I was a teenager, that was a topic of a lot of my stories, similar stuff like lack of freedoms, kissing up to people, oppressive society, people forcing you to live how you don't want to live against your will, things like that. So I was never thinking about anti-natalism and like all of that at the time, but it's like my head was always like turning like similar directions. So like as your head is kind of thinking in similar patterns and similar ways, It reminded me of myself a lot. So, but still couple things I don't agree with you on, which I told you at the beginning of the video. It's like, I do believe in karma, and like I said, you didn't really learn much about Jewish tradition, Jewish history, so you don't really know the perspective on things. Like, Hopefully you learn it from my video, you know. You're talking about Egyptian people suffering because they were enslaving Jewish people. This is what we studied at least, but then again, who knows. At the same time, you know why Jewish people got punished when they came to Egypt? Because Joseph, who was a righteous man, because he was righteous and his brothers were jealous of him. So they put him into the ditch. And then he went to Egypt, and because of his righteousness, he got to the top. But then, again, karma played the role, right? So all these brothers who put Joseph into the ditch, you know, because of that, they got punished. Because their descendants, right, they were slaves in Egypt. See, karma right there. You did bad things to Joseph, a couple generations after, your ancestors became slaves. And then Egyptian people were punishing the Jewish people for misbehavior. But then what God did, God was punishing Egyptians for enslaving the Jews. So see how it is, it's like karma works. It's like you do bad, you get bad. So it's like everything works like a snowball, you know. You do bad things, you get punished. Other people do bad things to you. Then other people get punished because they did bad things to you. See, it's like a snowball of constant suffering, misery, misbehavior. You know, all of these destructive patterns. You know? Something to think about. Anyway, guys, this video is too fucking long. I need to get to work. I was thinking to get a little nap, but I'm like, fuck it. Let me just work. And this is Employee Appreciation Week, so I'm here. I'm gonna see if I can get some free food. So, well, thanks for watching. I don't know if I'm gonna upload it right now, but I'm gonna upload very soon. So it's my video response to you. Life is overrated 96. And thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. Peace.